Hello and welcome to Watch It Chef. My name is Andres Brusco and today I'm going to be showing you how to make French onion soup. First, you have a few ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to start off with some onions. You're going to need some beef stock, butter, salt and pepper for taste. You're going to need some garlic as well. And you're also going to want to get some Swiss cheese to top it off, and underneath the Swiss cheese usually you're going to put a nice crostini, which in this case we're going to be using French baguette to make the crostini. So to start off, we're going to chop some onions. You're going to want to make them at least a half moons. That way you get nice long swirls of onions. Cut that. Alright guys, so now we have all our onions sliced. We're going to walk over to the pot so we can put them in and start caramelizing them. First thing you're going to want to do is actually add some butter. In this case we're going to use a half a stick of butter into a pan. You want to put the pan on medium heat while you're caramelizing the onions. Make sure it gets nice and coats the bottom evenly. As soon as all that butter melts, you're going to want to toss in the onions. I've also taken the liberty of chopping some garlic, about 2 tablespoons, and we're going to add it into this for a little extra flavor. If you want, you can add other ingredients to your liking. And you're pretty much going to cover this, stirring occasionally, leave it at medium heat until the onions are nice and caramelized. The longer you caramelize the onions, the sweeter they're going to get. Depending on the sweetness of your soup is how sweet you're going to want to make these onions. Alright guys, welcome back. This is, I'm going to show you what the onions are going to look like when they start to caramelize. If you look in here, you can tell they're starting to caramelize nicely. This is about 30 minutes of cook time. Medium heat. It was covered, stirring occasionally. What I'm going to want to do is probably cook it for another 15 to 30 more minutes just to get a little more color into it, a little bit more flavor before I add my stock. Alright guys, so while we're waiting for the onions to caramelize, what we're going to do is go ahead and cut our baguette, our French baguette. We're going to cut it into circles. You're really going to want the circles to be big enough or small enough to fit in your crock pot where you're going to put your French onion soup. Keep in mind, this is going to go into the oven. It is going to get baked. So, we have our baguettes right now. We have them nice and sliced. What we're going to do is going to put some olive oil on them. Nice little drizzle, just to give them a little flavor. And then we're going to bake them at 425 for about 15 minutes. You want to get these nice and crusted so they can go on top of the soup. And then we're going to place the cheese on top of the crostini. Also want to salt and pepper these. Alright, and these are going to go into a preheated oven at 425 for 15 minutes. Alright, so what we've done now, we've put on some beef stock to boil. It took us about 10 minutes to bring the beef stock to a boil. This is going to be added to the onions. So we're going to go over and check how the onions are doing right now. They've been sitting for about an hour, caramelizing, medium to medium-low heat. They look pretty good. They look like they're ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the beef stock that we have boiling and we're going to pour it into the pot with the onions. Make sure you shut off your fire so you don't burn yourself. And always pour away. Alright, so here what you want to do at this point in time. You want to make sure everything's nicely mixed. All the onions are coated, completely submerged in the beef stock. You may have to add some more beef stock depending on how much you boil, how much you make. because you're going to have to reduce this. Right now we're going to set the fire a little bit higher, pretty much to high heat. We're going to bring everything to a boil, let it set for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to bring it down to medium heat and let it reduce for about another 45 minutes. Once the reduction has taken place, you could taste it for seasoning. You may need to add some more salt and pepper, and that should be good to go. Alright guys, now we're almost done with the process of making French onion soup. We have here the final product. What we're going to do now is we're going to ladle it into one of our ceramic pots so we can put it into the oven. Be careful with it because it's very hot. You're going to want to fill this about 3/4 of the way up. Maybe a little bit more. You want to leave just enough space in there so that you can put the crostini on top and then put the cheese. Now we have our perfectly baked crostinis. Going to put it on top, and you're going to take your Gruyere cheese and you're going to put it right on top. In this case, we're going to put a little bit more. I find it tastes a little bit better with a little extra cheese. Then the last step is going into the oven. We're going to broil this at 350 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes, or until the cheese is nicely melted and golden brown on top. Alright, so what we've done is we've raised the temperature to 425. 350 just wasn't cutting it for us. We raised it to 425, we've had it in there for about 10 minutes, and now it's time to pull it out. Be very careful because the broiler is hot. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade French onion soup. Thank you for watching Watch the Chef. My name is Andres Brusco. Have a good night.